Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. You can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. Appreciate everybody using hashtag Chiefs to submit their questions for today's mailbag. I promised it would be coming. Here it is. So let's go ahead and jump right in with Shoeman for the win. Nice name there, Shoeman. He says, using hashtag Chiefs, will Damien Williams or Clyde Edwards-Helaire take most of the carries this upcoming season? Well, I don't think anybody will take, the majority, I will say. Obviously, someone has to have the most. Someone will have the most carries on this team. Maybe it's Edwards-Helaire. Maybe it's Damien Williams. I do think these are the two guys. Obviously, Edwards-Helaire had a monster season for LSU. His work for the Tigers got overlooked by Joe Burrow in that passing attack, so I definitely think he's going to be a big part of this offense, not only this year but moving forward. But I also know how the Chiefs feel about Damien Williams. Sure, the regular season stats don't jump off the screen there, but we saw in the playoffs and especially in the Super Bowl how big of a role he is capable of playing with this Chiefs offense. Now, I do think the Edwards-Helaire pick, while it was for this year, it's also maybe for long term because Damien Williams is in the last year of his current contract. There's a decent chance he won't be back in 2021. Right now, I've got Edwards-Helaire as my running back 2 behind Damien Williams, but I think both these guys will get a lot of run. I think DeAndre Washington will be involved in this offense. I still think it'll be more of a running back by committee approach than just, okay, Damien Williams or Edwards-Helaire, you take the bulk of the snaps. I don't think that's going to happen. But there has to be a starter, so who do you guys think it'll be? Who will be running back 1? Will it be Damien Williams? If so, type 1. If you think it's the rookie Edwards-Helaire out of LSU, go ahead and type 2. I think Damien Williams will get the early crack as the starting running back, but again, I do think this will be a heavy rotation between these two guys and several others as well. Do you guys follow me on Twitter? If not, you can at HGrahamNFL on Twitter. Just crossed 1,100 Twitter followers, trying to increase my platform over there as well. I tweet about the Chiefs a lot and other NFL and sports thoughts as well. And for our next mailbag, you can message me on Twitter after you follow me, asking me a Chiefs question. I will prioritize Twitter questions on our next Chiefs Q&A. So go ahead, give me a follow at HGrahamNFL and submit your questions for next week's mailbag. Let's talk to Blake Davis, who asks, what's your record prediction for Kansas City? Well, it's a little early to say. Obviously, the NFL schedule came out last week. The Chiefs schedule included, obviously, and we get to kick off the season with the Chiefs and the Houston Texans on Thursday Night Football at Arrowhead Stadium. That should be exciting. I'll briefly run through the schedule here. At the Chargers in Week 2, and then the big one in Week 3 at Baltimore for Monday Night Football before coming home to face the Patriots in Week 4. Weeks 5 through 8 is against the Raiders, at Buffalo, at Denver, and then against the Jets back at Arrowhead. Week 9 against Carolina before the Week 10 bye. At Las Vegas for Sunday Night Football in Week 11. That should be exciting. And then again, at Tampa Bay against Tom Brady and the Bucs. And then the final stretch looks like this: Broncos, at Dolphins, at Saints, Falcons, and Chargers. So that's kind of the early look at the schedule. My way too early prediction, around 12 wins. I got to take a deeper dive. Do you guys want a game-by-game predictions video? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments section. I'll make this the pinned comment. If we get enough yeses, I will make a fresh, full video going week by week and predicting if the Chiefs will win all 16 games. I'll go through it and go week 1, week 2, week 3. Go through it all. So type Y for yes, type N for no. Scroll on down, and if you get hit with an ad break, and answer this question. Let's talk to Adam using hashtag Chiefs. With all the changes, who do you think is the biggest threat in our division? So obviously it's been a busy offseason. Looking back at 2019, not very competitive, especially down the stretch. Kansas City ran away with this division. Denver, Oakland at 7-9. Obviously, the Raiders are Las Vegas now. They were Oakland last year. Los Angeles Chargers 5-11. I do think all three of those teams are improved, but I think the Chiefs are just as good, if not better, as well. So I don't see a major threat in the AFC West, to be quite frank, and that's not me being, the cocky Chiefs guy. I just think the Chiefs are a leg up on the rest of the division. That's just how I feel. They have the best coach in the division, the best quarterback in the division, and a lot of talent on both sides of the football, whereas, Derek Carr, questions about him with the Raiders. Obviously, Drew Lock is still working his way as the Broncos quarterback, and we don't know who's going to start for the Chargers. I think the Chiefs mostly made good moves this offseason to keep this roster intact. stacked. So I just feel like, it's the Chiefs clearly their division to lose, and quite frankly, I think they'll win it again by at least a couple of games. Who do you guys think is the biggest threat in the AFC West? Type B for Broncos, type C for Chargers, type R for Raiders. Chargers, if they can get some consistent quarterback play. That's what I will say, because I think their defense is really good, probably the best in the division, and they've got some skill players on offense. Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, some other pieces. I'll type C for Chargers, but I think the Chiefs are going to run away with it again in 2020. What you guys should not run away with, but purchase is a Chiefs face covering. We got this 3-pack for just $25. Chatsports.com/Chiefs mask. I hope everybody is staying safe out there. Obviously, we are in unprecedented times, but stay safe in style when you go to the grocery store by repping the Kansas City Chiefs. Go to that link, chatsports.com/Chiefs mask. It'll be down in the comments, and it'll be in the description. You just click on it, boom, you can go purchase today. Let's talk to Aiden Whiting. What about the Chiefs trading for Stephon Gilmore at the trade deadline to get a legit number 1 cornerback? This one is interesting, to say the least. Obviously, the Patriots aren't going to trade Gilmore before the season, which is why I appreciate you mentioning it at the trade deadline. He could be a deadline candidate to be traded if the Patriots start off really poorly, which is possible considering all of the roster turnover and uncertainty around Jarrett Stidham, who's expected to be their starting quarterback. Now, Gilmore's going to cost, not just in terms of salary, but a lot to trade for him. The bottom line, too, is him and Chris Jones can't coexist. The Chiefs cannot pay Chris Jones and go get Stephon Gilmore in that salary and then extend him as well, because if you're trading for Gilmore, you want him long term. He's an incredible corner. I like him a lot. That season he had last year, ridiculous. 6 picks, 20 pass breakups. No one's better than him right now in the NFL. I stand by that. I think he's the league's best corner. But if you're serious about keeping Chris Jones, you can't go get Stephon Gilmore. It just doesn't work financially. Would I love to see it? Would he be awesome in the secondary? Absolutely. Look, you lost Kendall Fuller. Bashaud Breeland is probably going to get suspended. He would be great in this Chiefs secondary under Steve Spagnuolo, but I just don't think you can have both these guys. And while Gilmore's probably a better corner than Chris Jones is a defensive line at this point, you know what Chris Jones means to you on this defense, and he's younger as well. But I'll leave it to you guys. You can pick one of these. You get one of them. Can't have both. Type J for Chris Jones. Type G for Stephon Gilmore. Now, maybe if it was just for one season, I would go Gilmore, but long term, I think I'd go Chris Jones. I need to pressure opposing teams' quarterbacks, and I know Chris Jones can do that for a very, very long time. Let's talk to Logan Dykehouse using hashtag Chiefs. Is Andy Reid already a Hall of Fame coach? If not, what does he need to do to get there? It's very simple. Him winning the Super Bowl last year, in my opinion, puts him in the Hall of Fame. He had done everything you can do on his coaching resume except for win a Super Bowl, and now he's done that, and he's probably going to win at least one more as long as this Chiefs core stays together. Over 200 wins, one of just 7 coaches to take 2 teams to a Super Bowl. Obviously, he did that with Philadelphia. Didn't win, but got there, and now he's taken the Chiefs and won it with the Chiefs. That win last year, to me, pencils him into the Hall of Fame. He's worthy of being a Hall of Fame coach. He's one of the good guys in the NFL as well. I like Andy Reid a lot. For me, outside of Belichick, he's as good as anybody there is currently right now in the NFL as a head coach. The resume speaks for itself. Sure, he's had some shortcomings in the playoffs, but he's still above 500, and he's been 15 times. He's won over 200 games. He's been to 6 conference championship games, a couple of Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl last year. What else do you want? The guy is as good as it gets, and perseverance as well. He was known as a guy who always fell short. That's not the case anymore. This guy is a Super Bowl champion, and in my opinion, an NFL Hall of Famer. Taylor Gant asks, since we are obviously going to be undefeated through to the Super Bowl, who do you have us playing in the Super Bowl? Super Bowl pick. Well, that's very confident, Taylor. I'm confident as well, but, 18-0 heading into the Super Bowl might be a bit lofty for me. Top NFC contenders in no particular order. I think the 49ers, Saints, Packers, Seahawks, and Bucks are teams that comes to mind. I don't love what Green Bay did this offseason. How far can Russell Wilson take Seattle? The Saints and 49ers, in my opinion, are the top two teams, with Tampa Bay kind of being that wild card. What will they look like with Tom Brady? We'll have to wait and find out. So I do think it's could be between those 5 teams as far as who the Chiefs are going to face. I'll let you guys predict for me who will be in Super Bowl 55. You can put the Chiefs as one of your teams. I think it's going to be the Chiefs out of the AFC as well, but predict the NFC team also. Go ahead and type your votes down below. AFC contenders, obviously the Chiefs. Baltimore, I think, will be right there again. Tennessee, I think, did a pretty good job of bringing everybody back. The Buffalo Bills, I think, will win the AFC East. Josh Allen continues to improve. I'm intrigued by that Week 6 matchup going up to Buffalo for the Kansas City Chiefs on a Thursday night. That'll be a tricky matchup. Pittsburgh's kind of the Tampa of the AFC, right? Wild card. Big Ben coming back from injury. How will he play? If he's the Big Ben of old, they should be a contender in the AFC. Don't love what Houston did. That's why I don't got them up here. I don't think they're a true contender in the AFC.